NotTwo. There's already no you.
Enjoy the summer!
Hey Max, welcome.
Thanks.
It's always weird to welcome someone again, so to speak, if we chat before the recording has started. But besides that, it's lovely to see you. So
likewise, thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for accepting the invitation.
Good pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, like I said, I didn't do my homework, so I really don't know nothing about the character Maxx Verhamme in Dutch, right? But yeah, you understand Dutch, you told me?
Yeah. I'm a bit rusty, but I should understand it. Yeah.
I already forgot that you did spend some time in Belgium back then?
Yeah,
or?
So I'm French, but I grew up in North France, but we are the border of Belgium, French-speaking parts.
Oh, yeah.
But I went to school up until 18 years old in Belgium, where I learned Dutch, really. Well, Flemish, or Dutch, blah, blah, blah. So it really feels like ages ago. But that's how I know Belgium, actually, yeah.
Yep.
I had Belgian girlfriends as well, all that.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Then you have to. It's the fastest way to learn Dutch, then.
It is.
So maybe one day we can do it in Dutch. Who will tell?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? Or in French.
Yeah, that's going to be the hardest part. I can say bonjour or something like that. Yeah. Bonjour, comment ça va? Moi j'appelle Nico. It's some.
That will do it.
Yeah.
That's and then you say il n'y a personne. There is no one. And then that's it. You've got it all. You know?
Yeah. Okay. I know croissant also.
Yeah, well, that's an important one, obviously. Croissant, vin, which stands for wine, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a commercial about that. Du pain, du vin, et du boursin.
Oh, yeah.
Du boursin.
Du boursin, correct. Yeah. That's correct.
There's already no you. NotTwo.
Max, you're talking about this in French, right?
Yep, that's true. Yeah. I guess.
For those who are watching, I've came across one of your videos, the one you did with Frank.
Yeah.
It came up on YouTube, and I kept watching. Apparently, it was lovely to watch. Yeah, it was a nice.
Cheers.
Yeah, so that's how we did in. How did we get? I said my French isn't good, but my English isn't that also great. So that is how we did get in touch, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. So, talking about this by lack of words, so to speak, can you give an introduction to this, if you would like to?
Sure. It's a funny thing to even think that there would be a possibility to talk about something which doesn't exist yet. Yeah. It seems to be happening, and that seems to be happening a lot here in French, and it's a lovely thing to do, which has no sense, which makes no sense, which doesn't go anywhere, and I couldn't ever explain why it is, but it's also impossible not to explain it, and I guess that's the beauty, because it is just this, what's being said, what's being shared, and there is never a right or wrong way to express what's inexpressible, really. So, in a nutshell, that's it. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of people that are seeking something, which I definitely was for as long as I can remember, and it is simply possible that it is heard, that this is it, really.
Yeah.
But the magic to this being it is that there is no more searching or this longing for something else. And it's quite incredible, really, because suddenly life is really what it is, and it's like suffering goes. Not that there can't be any sadness, pain, anger, blah blah blah. Of course, anything is finally free to arise, actually, and does arise if it does. But there's no object in between trying to make it something or not, and that's quite incredible, because that is what's longed for. But all of that are just words at the end of the day, trying to explain what cannot be explained, and blah blah blah. This is it's funny. It's so weird to speak in English, because I haven't done it, and I don't know how long yet. Just words seem to pop up anyway, and that's just what it is, really. Yeah. So that's it, really. That's it.
You did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's.
Thank you.
You're welcome. For those millions who are watching.
Yeah.
You, of course, it's a bit like you said. Everyone is seeking, often without knowing, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'd say so. I don't know really, but yeah. It seems a lot of. I'd say for me, it's more seeking, or there's something that's not quite right. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's felt. But is there seeking if it's not known? Do you know? And what is seeking really? And this. But yeah. It seems that there is it's something that should be different.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, yeah.
It always has to be in a certain way, so to speak. And it's a bit like you said. It's always, or likewise, it's just the beauty of this is that it can appear as anything, without the wanting to change things, so to speak. But that doesn't mean that you agree with anything, because that's often also misunderstood. That you said yes to anything. That's seems not to be the case. But,
it's so crazy. Like I fully accept my condition, stuff like that. It's crazy. It's just all those ideas, but I don't know. I think it can be a very, very sticky thing. But it's on the one hand, it's once it's done, that's it. But when you're in it, it's just horrible. I mean, for me, it was. It really was. Like ever since, as long as I can remember, like as long as I can have memories, if that makes sense. Like it was really, there is something not quite right. Like there is something that obviously, you know what I mean? And there was this urge to find something, to have something, to get this, to know, to be the best, to be, this urge to be me. I want to be myself. You know what I mean?
What would that be? Yeah.
What would that be? No, of course. Yeah. But it's so funny. But what I guess my point is, if any, is that a lot of people are suffering, and it is really possible to end that suffering. It's just not what someone believes it to be, basically.
It's hard to imagine.
Simple, if that makes sense. Yeah.
How it or whatever is imagined, it will never be this.
No, never. but what is imagined is this, precisely. That's just absolutely wonderful. It's the same. It's absolutely, I find it absolutely wonderful. It's just words cannot express it. Yes, words are always. Every word is simply this as a word, and so there is this. That's just the life as it is. Just what appears. But it's so
basically
easy to.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. Sure.
I thought you read my website. That's a bit of the intro on my website. Every
I had no idea, man. Well, there you go.
You didn't make your homework too.
No,
Damn.
sorry, man. God, no. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that's the every word is misleading in a way. From the moment you said one word, in a way it's misleading because
Yes and no. Every word is this too. That's I think that that's the thing that I guess that's just that I find fascinating is you can't get it right, but you also can't get it wrong. And you know what I mean? Never. And it's a paradox until it's not. And when it's not, that's just, well, yeah, duh. And it's you know what I mean? It I don't know. I guess there's an enjoyment here. I put it like this to talk with people because like it's very easy for that to be heard. That's the thing. You see, I think one of the core beliefs, ideas, blah blah blah, you know, however you want to call it, that is someone's is that, well, this is not it, and so it's never it, and so I need to do something. I need to. That's the core experience. The only experience, basically.
That's why it isn't seen.
But the thing is, but because that's not true, it's just all it takes is wait a second. That's just not true, and there you go. It is heard straight away. It's impossible for it not to be heard. Impossible, and that's the magic. Impossible. It can seem possible, but it's not. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, it is hard. Boom. That's the end of the story. And this a magic to it, because what there was no need for a so-called magic trick. There was no need for anything, and that's in a way that's the magic. That's the. But anyway, it's just words.
Yeah,
pouring out really.
Though it's not often that it's of course that's my impression, so to speak. It's not often that it's really heard as what's being shared.
Perhaps I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't really watch YouTube anymore. But for a while, I kept seeing a lot of new people talking about it. A lot, and I'm like, gets. I don't know. It gets. It's like it's a new fashion show or something. You know what I mean? No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, but
non-duality speakers are the new fuckboys.
Yeah. And so then, do people have those got it, or are they copycats? And I think you can't really know. I mean, you can have a sense of it. I'd say it can guess. You can, but
and likewise, it isn't important because it cannot be otherwise.
No, obviously not. No. Yeah. That's just the beauty of it. It's but yeah, no. So I don't know. I guess I see what you mean. If I don't know if it's really heard that often. But what I experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you experience, Max?
What I experience would be when I don't know what people that when talk with people just often it seems hard after a while. But then again it's I don't know, it's simply because it's impossible for it not to be heard. So at some point it is heard. It just those words, aren't they? Just boom, that's it.
NotTwo.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of people talking about this, but often also in as a teaching. Nothing right or wrong with that, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's often a lot of. It's basically teaching is every teaching is basically more knowing. Yeah, which doesn't change anything. Or
depends on what you mean by teaching, I guess. But yeah. It's every if there's something known, then that's not it. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know really. I don't really look at YouTube anymore. It's just on the. I don't know. And then what would be a teaching? And then because I think that's one of the things. It's just take
Often
someone like go
often
on.
it's used as the words non-duality, for example. Often it's used for someone to teach.
Yeah.
They basically
To teach what?
yeah. If it's seen, it is seen. If it's not, that's
If it's not, it's
so,
not.
It's so simple. But just that, of course, maybe back then it wouldn't make it would make sense. Now it doesn't anymore. It's so simple. Is when everything is this already, who is there to experiencing this? What is already? Because you have to be separate. You should be separate from it to have an experience of it. So, yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But like if you take things like I don't know. I mean, not that I ever really listened to those guys, but like Ramana, all those guys. I believe that they really are talking about the same nothing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's said to different culture at a different era, if I can say so, to different people, blah blah blah. Which then I mean, it would be crazy to believe that that there has been a message showing up for the last 20, 30 years roughly, and that gains in popularity somehow. That it's split like this, and that message would have been the core. Like, okay, this is it now. Now, this is it already, and boom, that's it, and that's the right message. I don't believe that 1 second. It is obviously this. I mean, undeniably, that's not the point here. It's just that, I mean, I think it depends on how things are heard, what words, also how they resonate. Because at the end of the day, all that resonates is what resonates, if it resonates. Like this, for example, there seems to be a conversation, there seems to be an understanding. But we honestly have no idea if we actually understand each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like,
and that's, I mean, I find that wonderful. I find that wonderful. And so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if what Jesus said, for example, wasn't the very same thing any other day. But again, another era, other people, and I genuinely do believe so. What is the Holy Spirit? But this, for what I know, what is the Father, but not you? You know what I mean? I don't know. You see, that's why it's so. But of course, if we grow up with ideas about Jesus, about God, about love, about blah blah blah, what life should be, and somehow there is a belief or an experience in those things to be what they are really. So, for example, I don't know. God is a so-called being or entity or energy or whatever, you know what I mean? Then yeah, at some point I think hearing, well, it is simply already this, and everything is this, end of story. Yeah, can be the right message. You hear what I'm saying? There is no right message, but can fall, can actually be heard. Let's put it like this. But then again, is there, because you see, I'm saying that because when it was heard here, it was so obvious that well, I didn't hear it before, or I thought I did, if that makes sense. And so that what I used to listen to as well was like, oh, okay, wait, that wasn't it at all. And so that's a teaching, and that's wrong, and that's that. But then, no, I mean, it's just maybe another way of sharing. How would I know? And I find that wonderful. You can't know, nor can you not know what seems to be here, because what seems to be here is simply what seems to be here without a you. And that's, you know what I mean? It's just wonderful, I find. Anyway, yeah. blah blah blah. Yeah.
NotTwo. There's no you in it.
So I'm impressed because you obviously didn't. We didn't plan anything, and the sound effects are just wonderful. They fall just right.
yeah. Made a lot of homework to fit in this. Yeah, sure.
Good job, Nico. Good job, Nico.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to tell what they were talking about back then. You can never tell, of course. Yeah,
you can't tell. No, and that's why I think as well a sharing, although no one's, is bound to be personal.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is expressed is through this particular body. Whatever is through that particular body, and so it never is in appearance anyway. The very same, whereas the core can be the same or not. And again, we'll never fucking know. And I don't know. I find that just stunning. It's stunning. Yeah. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So how about you, Nico? When what happened to this Nico that never existed? It was heard like that, or is there a background story or anything like that?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, everyone has a story, so to speak. I tried. There was a search, but at the moment, so to speak, it was not seen that I was searching for something, so to speak. But it's basically always looking for a better experience in what way it will happen, or in whatever way, so to speak. So I tried a lot, and nothing did work out. So I tried a lot. Did career, booze, women, substances, party, a lot, really a lot. Almost the whole bazaar in Dutch.
That word, yeah,
there it goes again. Yeah, and then there was some spiritual search for a while.
Okay,
seems to be. And then
what do you call spiritual? Like more like spiritual? What's?
Well, spiritual. I meant what happened. It's hard to recollect those memories. Of course, it's a bit of a blur. But I know the headlines by lack of any other words.
I don't bother otherwise.
There was a depression from but I don't mind talking about. There was a depression from a certain point, and from that point, it was like the search speed up a bit, the urge to escape that what we call depression, and then I came across Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now.
Oh. Pro now,
so that's a bit spiritual, right? Yeah. And like what you're talking about earlier, it's while the dream is still happening, apparently, it's everyone or almost everyone you meet is feeding that dream. Is giving fuel to that dream. Yeah. It's so obvious.
That's how amazing it is, though, mind you, that illusion. That's how amazing it is, because everything around you is just a very reflection of that very dream. Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And the belief also that now when this is seen, so to speak, it's so obvious, but back then it wasn't, that there is something like everlasting happiness or something. One day you will get there. And now it's so easy, of course, in that way, that every time you had a good feeling, so to speak, of every time there was a good feeling, when you're feeling like someone, it was every time you did lost it again also. And still there is that drive to, and that's belief. One day I will be happy, and it's basically holding on to the good stuff, and trying to escape the bad stuff until everything fails from a certain point. So, and then I came across some speakers on YouTube after Eckhart, did meditation a lot. I was on my way to something very special.
Were you now?
Yeah. That was, I didn't know what, but I was convinced I was going to get there one day.
I don't know what, but I'll find it.
Yeah, I will get there. No worries. Look at me. Yeah.
It's so interesting. Yeah, but in a way, because the seeker story is, there's variants, but it's, at the core, it's always pretty much the same. You know what I mean? Often, I find, it's very, it's just you get somewhere, you get it, and you'll be freed from all your worry, all your issues, and blah blah blah. Yeah,
I find it crazy sometimes how sometimes wondering about all this seems to be happening. Just some thoughts that's arising. And there was a period of time that I was like, I guess almost every person for some certain moments suffering from that dream, and there was the idea that I needed a reset, like a computer. How great it would be that you just could reset that hard drive, for example. And
come on, we need a reset sound then.
There's already no you. NotTwo.